Today I'm looking at my favorite mobile video tech from 2024. Now, there were lots of great gadgets and apps released this year, but this list only covers stuff that I actually reviewed or made a video about on my channel. And again, these are just my favorites, so they're not necessarily the best, but they are things that I really like and routinely use. Okay, first up, number 10, the Filmmaking Scorp 2. I actually don't use gimbals a lot anymore, but when I do, I like to have one that can hold a good amount of weight and accessories too. And this can definitely do that. It's also very easy to use, and I really like the handle design. And it can work with small mirrorless cameras too. Overall, it's really pretty great. So if you're looking for a hybrid style gimbal that will work in a variety of shooting situations, then this is definitely one you should consider checking out. Next up, number 9, the remote control feature of the Blackmagic camera app. So this was one of the main things for me anyway, missing when the app first launched, and one of the things that kept a lot of people using Filmic Pro, but not anymore. Now you can easily watch and control a phone from either another phone or an iPad. And the remote control is simple to set up and use, which is great. That's not always the case with other apps. This feature really solidified Blackmagic as the gold standard in mobile video camera apps. And it's another reason why it has become the de facto industry standard. Number 8, the newer cage for iPhone 15 or 16 Pro or Pro Max. This thing is really great and really affordable. That's the key thing. It's by far the best bang for the buck cage you can get. Its price is about the same as a lot of iPhone cases. It really is, and it's pretty amazing. And since it's actually a cage custom fit for an exact phone, meaning the 15 Pro or Pro Max or 16 Pro or Pro Max, this low price makes it a no-brainer, because typically you don't want to spend all that money on a custom cage. But upgrading again later is not a big expense like it can be for other cages, because again, it's so affordable. Now, it's not as fancy, quote unquote, as other similar offerings, but it does what it needs to do. It supports your phone in more robust filmmaking situations. And again, at a price no one else can compete with. All right, now number 7. This next one on the list is actually something that we can't buy. Yet, anyway. I hope they make it available, but even if they don't, what they achieved with this, it's worth mentioning here. And that is the B-Script prototype DOF adapter that they used in their really great looking short film. I talked to Vadim, the founder of B-Script, and he said that they may make this a rental item one day, but probably not a purchase. Not exactly sure why. It might just be too expensive. But either way, the results they achieved with it were amazing. And they were able to use PL mount anamorphic lenses from Atlas. So it really does not look like iPhone. If you didn't know it was shot on iPhone, you wouldn't know it was shot on iPhone. It's that good. We've never seen iPhone footage look like this before. And so that's why it's on my list, and I hope one day I can get my hands on one. Number 6, the iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max and its 120 frames per second recording. We are all so spoiled today. It's amazing what we can do now with a phone. Shooting 4K 120 is something you can't even do with a lot of higher-end cinema cameras, and in particular because we're not cropping in on the image. Also, the ability to shoot ProRes log, that too is something you just can't do on a lot more expensive cinema cameras. And when you compare this footage to these higher-end setups, you can see that it holds up amazingly well. And of course, all from a device, a phone that we carry with us at all times and in our pocket. Sometimes I really still can't believe it. So if you don't have a 16 Pro, one day when you get it, you'll see how cool it is to shoot this kind of high-end slow motion with your iPhone. Number 5, the Reflex Super Telephoto. Now this isn't your normal telephoto. When I first used this lens, I was so surprised at how good the footage looked and how it created images we're just not used to seeing with an iPhone. Longer telephoto shots have always been tricky with a phone, and in a lot of ways impossible. But now with this lens, which was specifically designed, by the way, for the 5x tele on the iPhone 15 or 16 Pro or Pro Max, you can get amazingly good results. And that's with photography or video. When I look at these shots, I just don't feel like they're shot on an iPhone, and so that's one reason this lens is on my list. And additionally, it comes with a macro attachment. so you can get very nice macro shots too with the same lens. All in all, I think it's a great addition to any serious iPhone filmmaking or photography kit. On to number 4, the Freewell Genius Cage. Now, at first, I didn't even really want to review this cage because to me, a cage is a cage is a cage is a cage. And while this one looked nice, it just didn't really interest me that much. That is, until I actually started using it, and I really changed my mind pretty quickly. This is now one of my favorite cages, as not only does it protect your phone in more robust filmmaking shooting situations, it's also very lightweight. The phone is super easy to install. You can add external lenses, and the really cool thing is you can configure these handles in almost infinite ways. It's like the transformer of iPhone cages, and so I just really like it. And I think if you're looking for a cage, this is definitely one of the top ones to consider. Now number 3, we're getting closer to the top here. This is another thing I really didn't want to try, but when I did, I ended up actually loving it. And that's the Kino app. I mainly use the Blackmagic camera app for my video work, but not for everything. For some everyday videos or family videos, I'll, use the native camera app, but it's just so limiting and I just don't love that app. And that's where the Kino app really comes in perfectly for what I do. It's a great in-between app. So when you don't want to use the full manual controls of Blackmagic, but you want more control and a much better user interface than the native camera app, this is where the Kino app works great for me. And the nice thing is, though, actually, you can do very professional work with the Kino app as well. So it works in auto mode for everyday simpler stuff, or manual mode when you want to do more professional, locking your settings, etc. stuff. But either way, it's really simple to use, very easy to use. And because of that, it's definitely become an essential part of my mobile video kit. All right, now on to number 2. If you watch my channel at all, you know that I harp on the fact that to make iPhone video not look like iPhone video, the number one thing you need to use is an ND filter. Using an ND allows you to get proper motion blur, which is critical to create professional looking video. Really any video, but professional video especially. And that's why this pick is so high up on my list, and that's the Moment Quick Lock filters. This setup is ideal not only for everyday videos, but even more robust setups where you're not using a cage or external lenses, which admittedly is probably how most people shoot with their phone. It's more of a minimalist style setup, which I really do like. And for those situations, this couldn't be easier and more convenient to use. And the quality of the ND is very good. And they also offer other filters as well. So anytime you're outside shooting in bright light especially, you definitely want to use an ND filter. And this is one that I put high on my list. And so check this one out. But regardless, please use an ND filter. Okay, drum roll please. Here we go, my number 1 pick of 2024. The Lexar Portable SSD. If you have an iPhone 15 or 16 Pro or Pro Max, this is an essential accessory. Not only can you shoot higher frame rate like 60 or 120 frames per second, but you can actually shoot any video to it depending on the app you're using, and then quickly and easily transfer it to your computer or iPad for editing. That way you don't have to fumble with a USB-C cable in your phone or mess with AirDrop, which can be hit or miss for sure. And you can even edit directly from the drive. Also importantly, it keeps your phone from filling up with all the big video files, in particular if you're shooting Apple Log and ProRes. And this thing is so small and lightweight, it is extremely portable. You can take it with you anywhere. So while this might not be the most glamorous accessory, I admit that, I think it's especially vital for anyone shooting professional video with an iPhone. But really anyone shooting high frame rate or using ProRes. You have to have it in some situations. So definitely pick up an SSD, and for me, this one from Lexar is great, and it's my favorite mobile video accessory of 2024. So what did I miss? I'm sure there's stuff out there. I didn't make videos about everything, but these are my favorite. What were your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and really, thanks for watching my videos all this year. It's been a good year. This is Blake Calhoun, and I will see you in the next one.